KL Publications presents Supernatural by Ryan C. Sanders, The Awakening of Mike Adams, a forensic journey into the dark truth. Mike Adams, a globally recognized scientific researcher, had devoted most of his career to forensic food analysis, known as the Health Ranger. Adam was on a quest to reveal hidden toxins in the food supply. His lab had uncovered alarming levels of pesticides, heavy metals, and other contaminants in everything from processed snacks to dietary supplements. While this was concerning, it paled in comparison to the shocking truth he was about to discover, one that would change his life forever. For years, Adam suspected that something was deeply wrong with the world, beyond the typical government neglect of public health. As he delved deeper into the scientific data, patterns began to emerge that were too calculated to be coincidental. He realized that the contamination in the food supply was not just a coincidence of negligence, but a part of a deliberate agenda. His forensic analysis revealed that many food additives, once thought to be harmless, were slowly eroding the health of the population, contributing to the chronic disease and sharp decline in fertility rates. Adams knew that if he was right, the implications were horrifying. His research pointed to a systematic plan unfolding right before everyone's eyes, where certain sectors of the government, in collusion with corporate entities, were actively participating in reducing the global population. This was not a conspiracy theory born on paranoia, but a conclusion drawn from hard, irrefutable data. Faced with this reality, Adams felt a duty to act. He couldn't keep this information to himself, and he certainly couldn't trust the mainstream media to broadcast it. He needed a platform where people could share uncensored stories, scientific evidence, and their own experiences. And so Adams created Brighteon, an online platform similar to YouTube but free from the censorship he had grown increasingly frustrated with. The platform quickly became a haven for whistleblowers, citizen journalists, and independent researchers, all united in exposing truths that the mainstream preferred to keep hidden. But for Adams, this wasn't enough. He needed to reach deeper into the collective consciousness, to offer more than just a platform for voices. He wanted to empower people with the knowledge and tools that could help them fight back, not just politically, but biologically and spiritually. That's when he decided to interview the renowned scientist and speaker, Joe Dispenza, who had made waves with his groundbreaking work on epigenetics and consciousness. Joe Dispenza's book, Becoming Supernatural, had been a bestseller, capturing the imagination of readers worldwide. Dispenza was a comical, down-to-earth guy. Despite the complex nature of his work, he had an uncanny ability to break down intricate scientific principles into simple, practical advice that people could use to transform their lives. Adams was fascinated by Dispenza's research, particularly his exploration of the quantum model of reality. According to Dispenza, we lived in a field of infinite possibilities, and our thoughts and emotions can directly influence this field. Basically, Adams said during the interview, grinning at the camera, "If you think it, you can feel it, you can create it." Dispenza nodded, adding, "Exactly. We have the power to shift our consciousness, which in turn shift our reality." For Adams, this idea was mind-blowing. It resonated with his own work on how chronic stress and negative emotions could weaken the immune system and leave people vulnerable to disease. Dispenza explained how emotions like fear, guilt, and anger get stored in the body, causing dysfunction. "That's what I'm seeing in my lab," Adam exclaimed. "I can literally see the damage in the food people are eating. It's like this toxic loop: bad food, bad emotions, bad health." Dispenza leaned in, excited. "And here's the kicker, Mike. You can reverse it. Through meditation and mindfulness, you can release stored stress and trauma, which frees up energy for healing." Adam, always the practical scientist, loved how Dispenza grounded his work in hard data. Dispenza spoke about achieving coherence between the heart and the brain, a state where those two systems work in harmony, leading to higher consciousness and often spontaneous healing. "People think this stuff is woo-hoo," Dispenza laughed, "but it's real science. When your heart and brain are in coherence, you can tap into the quantum field, the space of infinite possibilities. That's when people start seeing miracles. He shared stories from his workshop where individuals had healed from terminal illnesses, changed their circumstances, and even transformed their relationships. Adams was hooked. As the conversation shifted to epigenetics, Adams found himself in awe. Dispenza explained that we are not victims of our DNA. Our genes are not fixed. You can literally change your biology by changing your consciousness. Dispenza said our genes are influenced by our environment, thoughts, and emotions. This is why so many people are able to heal themselves. They're changing the signals they're sending to their cells. For Adams, this was the game changer. His forensic work had always focused on the external environment, toxins in the food, chemicals in the water supply, but here was an entirely new layer. So you're saying that even with all the garbage people are eating and breathing, they can still heal themselves? Adam asked, raising an eyebrow. Yes, Dispenza replied firmly. And it starts with consciousness. When you change the way you think and feel, you change the way your body functions. That is the power of meditation, visualization, and intention. The interview ended with Dispenza guiding Adams through a simple meditation technique, a demonstration of how easy it could be to begin transforming one's life. Adams, ever the skeptic, couldn't help but chuckle. I'll be honest, Joe, I didn't think meditation was my thing, but this is different. You've taken something abstract and made it incredibly practical. Adams knew that this conversation would be a game changer for his audience. The people who tuned into Brighteon were hungry for truth, for knowledge, for a way to fight back against the forces trying to control them. But what Dispenza had offered was more than just a fight. It was a solution, a way to heal, grow, and evolve, even in the face of overwhelming odds. After the interview, Adams began implementing the principles from becoming supernatural into his own life. He set up regular meditation practices and shared his journey on Brighteon. As he incorporated breathing exercises and visualization techniques, he noticed a shift, not just with his health, but in his ability to handle the immense pressure of his work. He encouraged his followers to start small. Look, I'm not saying you need to become a monk overnight, but if you could take 5 minutes a day to sit quietly and breathe and visualize the life you want, you'll be amazed at what starts to change. Adams continued to interview thought leaders and scientists, experts on his platform, all the while staying true to his original mission of waking people up to the dangerous agenda he had uncovered. But now, thanks to Dispenza insights, he had a new message to share, that the power to change the world didn't just come from exposing corruption, it came from within. In the end, Mike Adams, the health ranger, found himself not only fighting a war on toxic food and corrupt governments, but also becoming an ambassador for a deep kind of revolution, a revolution of consciousness, one that could transform individuals from the inside out. As his platform grew and more people shared their stories, Adams realized that his work had only just begun. The world was waking up, and thanks to leaders like Joe Dispenza and Kanami Love, they were also learning how to heal. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe.